At a place known for traditions, this is definitely one of the best and one of the most fun. Skipping the ball across the water on 16, a couple of pretty good shots today, including Rory McIlroy taking the direct approach just a few feet away. Those were good. Then Bubba Watson and his group let their caddies take a shot at it. That did not turn out as well. We'll try to give it a better shot tonight on the Masters Report.
The WJBF News Channel 6 Masters Report, presented by Kroger. Great food, low prices at Kroger. Brought to you by Augusta University. Success is a choice. Bartram Trail Golf Club Masters Week tee times are available. Call 706-210-4681. The all-new Napleton Infinity of Augusta. Augusta Regional Airport. Fly there, fly home. Family Care, Inc. Just Beds. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight. Bojangles. Get a Chicken Supremes combo for only $4.99 all week. It's bow time.
Hello and welcome to the Tuesday edition of the Masters Report alongside Nathan Palm. I am Matt Zahn. We have lots to talk about tonight, or more accurately and more entertainingly, the big name players have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, all the top players in the world getting in work on day 2 of the practice rounds and also talking to us. We'll get to that much later in the show. But first, Augusta native Vaughn Taylor is back in the Masters for the first time since 2008, which of course has lots of locals excited. But one woman and her son are Taylor fans for a special reason. Ann Highfield has only met Vaughn Taylor once before, but the two share a unique connection.
I was just praying that he was going to be able to get back in the Masters, and finally this year he did.
Back in 2007, Highfield was looking to move into the Hill Creek neighborhood in western Augusta. When she was in the process of buying a house there, she noticed the man selling it had a resemblance to Taylor.
I said, "Are you Vaughn's daddy?" And he said, "Yeah." So that's kind of how we found out.
Taylor's parents took care of selling the house, but that's not the only thing Highfield discovered when buying it.
Well, I was shocked because they were on the shelf in the closet, and I'm rather short, so I didn't even say, but I saw something up there, and eventually one day I just pulled it down and looked at it, and it had been several days, maybe weeks after we moved in.
She'd found 3 of Taylor's big, almost Happy Gilmore-style checks from some of his earliest competitive golf victories that he apparently had left behind in the house.
Where's my check?
We'll be mailing them out next week, sir.
Oh, no, I want mine now.
I don't have any checks to give.
Well, that guy got one, right? Give me one of them big ones. I don't care.
But the Highfield connection to Taylor goes back several years before Ann even bought the house.
My son played golf at First Tee. He's a special needs, and they had people come in, and teach them to play golf. They were having a fundraiser, and Vaughn came to the fundraiser, and he gave my son his autograph, so that's how we first met Vaughn. He's that kind of guy. He's a special guy. That's when we started following him.
And they followed his journey back to another Masters appearance. And once Ann realized she was buying Vaughn's house, she made a deal with his parents to get him to autograph a few golf items as part of closing on the house's deal. As far as the checks go, the Highfields are willing to part with them, and they are checking in with Taylor to see if he would like them back. Well, the winner of the Masters is not going to get one of those oversized checks, at least in a literal sense.
Yeah, but the prize money is literally oversized. Jordan Spieth took home nearly $2 million last year. Of course, got all the perks that come with the victory as well. One of those perks, getting to not just attend, but host and choose the menu for the Champions Dinner. More on what the Texans serve tonight when the Masters Report continues. We mentioned the skipping of the balls on 16, one of the great Masters tradition. Well, this one might be even better. The Champions Dinner. The past winners get together every Tuesday night in an event that is hosted by the previous year's winner, Jordan Spieth in this case. Among those in attendance, Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer, and in the top left of the pick, yes, that is Tiger Woods. He isn't able to play this year, but he did attend the Champions Dinner as he said he would. Now, we mentioned the previous year's champion serves as the Champions Dinner host. Well, one of the perks of that is, of course, they get to pick the menu for the evening.
Yeah, and Jordan is from Texas, so no surprise he picked Texas barbecue. Let's take a look at the menu breakdown. It starts with a nice local green salad featuring heirloom tomatoes, cucumber, shaved red onion, balsamic vinaigrette, and corn muffins.
All right, moving on to the main course, Texas barbecue, including a beef brisket, smoked half chicken, pork ribs, a lovely bacon and chive potato salad, some sauteed spring beans, grilled zucchini, and roasted yellow squash.
And for dessert, you can't beat a warm chocolate cookie with some vanilla ice cream. The wines for the evening a 2011 Cakebread Chardonnay, and a 2010 Cabernet Sauvignon from the Chimus Vineyards.
Ooh, nice pronunciation there.
Thank you. Sounds pretty good. It also sounds like it's good that they get a day to recover before the tournament actually begins.
Right, yes. Spieth, of course, will be looking to pull off a repeat, but he's actually not the favorite. That belongs to red-hot Jason Day, even if he won't admit it. Number 2, according to the Vegas odds, is Spieth. Number 3, Rory McIlroy, chasing the career Grand Slam. We hear from the 3 of them right now.
To be honest, I don't think I'm the favorite this week. As you know, there's a lot of people out there that can play well this week and win as well, because Jordan and Rory and Henrik, how he's playing lately, and even Phil's a favorite here, and there's so many players that can win around here, and there's not just one heavy favorite this week, which is fantastic. I think it's good for the game of golf, and I think it's good for this tournament as well.
When I packed it to go down to Austin, because I drove to Austin, Houston, and then flew here, I was like, wow, this is actually, there's a possibility that I don't have this back at my house anymore, when I was leaving home. And it kind of fired me up a little bit. So yeah, it just the jacket itself provides a little motivation.
What Jordan did last year here at the U.S. Open and even the whole way through the summer, and then what Jason did at the end of the summer and going into this year as well. I don't want to be left behind. I want to be a part of that conversation, and I'm clinging on at the minute, and a few wins will change that.
Well, that big 3 is spread out throughout the day on Thursday as far as when they tee off. The groupings announced today. Defending champ Spieth goes off at 9:48 a.m. Jason Day plays at 1:06, and Rory McIlroy in the final grouping of the day at 2:01.
As far as the local guys, Larry Mize tees off at 8:42, Vaughn Taylor at 8:53, Patrick Reed at 9:37, and Kevin Kisner plays with Adam Scott and Brooks Koepka at 11:05. You can find the complete groupings at WJBF.com. Kisner getting a little bit of that marquee treatment because of his good play last year. Grouped with the 7th ranked player in the world and the 18th.
Yeah, Kisner, by the way, ranked 22nd. And we've got plenty more coming up on the Masters Report, including what should be a special at least 2 days and hopefully more for legendary golfer Tom Watson. We'll hear from the 8-time major champ on playing in his last Masters next on the Masters Report. Tom Watson has had an amazing run, not just in the Masters, but in all majors. He won the Masters twice in '77 and '81. He won the U.S. Open once, and he won the Open Championship an amazing 5 times. Of course, nearly won it a 6th at age 59. Welcome back to the Masters Report. Watson, really one of the great players in the history of golf, but all good things must come to an end.
Yes, 1 year after Ben Crenshaw called it quits, Watson has decided this will be his last Masters as a competitor. The 66-year-old is playing in his 43rd and final Masters this year. He told us last year he pretty much can't play any hole out here anymore because of their length. And then he went out and became the oldest player to break par in Masters history in his first round. But still, the length of the course and Watson's age was enough to make him decide that it was time to call it quits.
When you see these kids play out here and see them carry the ball 280 and 290 yards off the tee, it's time to say that I can't compete with them. And I haven't been able to really honestly compete with them for several years. But so that was the decision-making process. The reality of it, that I really can't play the golf course anymore. And I didn't want to take up another spot and shoot scores and just not even sniff making the cut.
Watson was asked about his legacy. He said, quote, "You're going to have to ask other people that. I just hope when it's all said and done that my peers say that Watson was a hell of a golfer," end quote. I'm guessing that people are going to say that.
All right, Phil Mickelson, one hell of a golfer, too. He's now 45. Of course, Jack Nicklaus won here 30 years ago at age 46. Mickelson today holding his usual Tuesday match. Some money may or may have not been on the line. Dustin Johnson, a regular in Lefty's Tuesday game. They were joined by Keegan Bradley and U.S. Amateur champion Bryson DeChambeau. After his round, Mickelson meeting with the media for his press conference, he addressed several topics, including if it felt strange to be playing in yet another major without Tiger Woods.
Well, it's not like we shared a house together, so I don't notice it that way. But I think we all appreciate what he's done for the game of golf and over the years. And we all miss him and want him back. I mean, he's a big part of the game even when he's not playing. And so, fortunately, I've heard that he's, from reports that he's going to be able to play this year, which is great.
Mickelson also boasted about how much he enjoys owning a green jacket and being able to give other players a hard time about not having one. Dustin Johnson apparently among his favorite targets. On the first fairway during their round today, he asked Dustin Johnson what his plans were for the night. Of course, Mickelson was at the Champions Dinner. Mickelson will tee off at 10:43 in round one with Mark Leishman and Henrik Stenson. More to come on the Masters Report. We'll hear from Jack Nicklaus on the 30th anniversary of his Masters win next.
I thought I was just here yesterday when it was 25 years, but I guess 5 years have passed since we last did this. But it's time passes so fast anymore, and it seems like it was just yesterday that walked off the 18th green and Jack and I gave each other a hug, and which was to me probably my most memorable moment in golf. Having your son on the bag and being able to share that with him. It was a great time and great fun.
Welcome back to the Masters Report. Jack's win in 1986, recognized as one of the all-time great Masters, even featured on a special called 86 tonight on the Golf Channel.
And actually, a local resident became part of that legend that goes with the historic victory. We'll have more on that story tomorrow night on the Masters Report. Nicklaus, of course, was at the Champions Dinner tonight, and will be hitting the ceremonial tee shot Thursday morning with Gary Player. Before he does that, he took the time to update his Facebook profile photo. Yes, Jack is on Facebook with a cool new photo at Augusta National.
All right, more to come on the Masters Report, including another edition of Straight from the Heart with John Hart. That's when we return. Well, it's just been absolutely perfect these first 2 days. I think I joked earlier today that they had some sort of cloud-sucking machine at the Augusta National. Not a single cloud
No clouds.
in the sky. And if we could stay away from the rain, it might be one of the best Masters weeks weather-wise in recent memory.
Absolutely. Well, we've got a new segment this year on the Masters Report with John Hart. He is in his 17th year for WJBF covering the Masters, and this time he's talking about the local ties to the Masters.
Covering my 17th Masters means I've spent more than 4 months of my life at Augusta National Golf Club, and I can say without much hesitation, today was the single greatest day of weather I have seen at the tournament yet. Not too hot, not too cold, and when it did get a little warm, a breeze would come along as if on cue. A couple of months ago, we had a boil water advisory here in Augusta. They never did find anything, but I'm not sure there isn't something in our water. If you count Patrick Reed, who finished his college career here after his parents moved here, our little neck of the woods has 4 players in this year's field with Vaughn Taylor, Kevin Kisner from Aiken, and Augusta native Larry Mize. I can only find one other state that has more players in the field, and that's Florida. And I don't really count Florida because of, well, go away. And finally, if you're going to the par 3 contest tomorrow and you're hoping to see a hole-in-one, try holes number 2, 7, and 9 in that order. Seems to be one on those holes just about every single year.
John Hart, always getting a college football reference in somehow, but that was fantastic.
Yeah, nice advice on the par 3 tomorrow.
Yes.
And if you are in town from Florida, we apologize.
Yes.
Anyways, we'll have much more coming up tomorrow night as we go live tomorrow night at 5, 6, and 6:30 as always, and more on the Masters Report. As John mentioned, exciting day, the par 3 contest. Plus Billy Payne will be speaking as well, so that's always something interesting as well. For Nathan Palm, I am Matt Zahn. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow at the Masters.